field for over 4 years now. I have extensive experience in a few of the fields which are like pay-per-click management, social media management. And today I'll be taking you through the webinar wherein we'll deal with how brands are engaging with 1 billion people through the platform called Facebook. But firstly, thank you everyone for joining us on a Saturday morning. I hope after this session you feel that these 45 minutes were well spent. So make sure you are asking me questions. You have a chat option available with you. Make sure you're asking me questions if required. And the rhythm will be, I'll take you through the slides, and in between if you have questions, you can stop me, ask me there. If I find the question is relevant with the flow, I'll answer it then and there. Else I'll take it up at the end. That's okay. So without further ado, let's dive into our today's topic. But before that, here's my first question, and I'm sure you'll answer it in 2 or 3 seconds. So tell me, how many of you use social media networks apart from Facebook? Like, give me a few names, the networks that you guys use. I was hoping an answer. Yeah. Okay, I got one. Twitter. Good. Anyone else who uses any of the other social media networks? Pinterest. Brilliant. So people know a lot about these. Yeah, Facebook we are covering. So apart from Facebook, if anyone has. So all right, this is good enough. So let me show you. So I'm sure everyone knows what Facebook is, what YouTube is, what Twitter is, what LinkedIn is, what Pinterest is. These are all the social media networks that we need to know about these days, because that's become very important for marketing purposes. And what social media marketing means through these networks is the process of gaining traffic or attention through social media sites. And these are our social media sites that we need to know about. So out of all, Facebook seems to be the most important as of now, and that's why we have taken this topic today of learning more about Facebook advertising. We will cover the other aspects of social media maybe in later webinars. But yeah, that's the overall environment or overall ecosystem of social media network. But for the benefit of everyone, let's go through a one-liner about every network, so that we know what people do on these networks. So someone mentioned, Ansh mentioned that he uses Twitter. So what Twitter is, it's a micro-blogging service that enables user to send text-based posts of up to 140 characters. So, and how brands are using this is to engage with the audience, because anyone can post a tweet on this network and the brands or the companies reply back to it. So it's a huge network for engagement with your customers directly to resolve their concerns or maybe hear them out about the problems they are facing. So Twitter is that. Facebook, we already know, it's a large social network where people create profiles, they exchange messages, photographs, send updates, take their location statuses and all of that, and that's where brand uses that data to target them. YouTube is a different platform. It's a video sharing website popular for user-generated content where people do video blogging. They post out their videos, engage with the audience through comments, through further videos, and that's again a huge resource for a brand to use. And it's one of the best features to build your brand through video blogs. So there are certain pros and cons of every network. So we'll not spend much time on all of them, but just to give you an idea how these networks are. So Google Plus, it's again a Google product, a social network operated by Google, where the functionality is similar to Facebook. You have your profiles, you update your statuses, you talk to your friends, chat with your friends, share photos, videos, and all of those things. So again, a huge resource of data that brands can use. Tumblr is a different kind of network, which is a combination of a micro-blog plus social network that allows users to post text, images, videos, and reblogging. So in all, these networks are again combination or a platform where users come, do their daily activities, talk to each other, share their interests, and for brands, it's a huge resource to talk to these guys. So now if we have a small basic idea about what social networks are, these any questions till now from everyone? Anyone? All right, we'll start. So the first thing that we'll do today is to find out what are the objectives of social media marketing. Is it really effective? And what is the way forward? What are brands thinking about it? How will they include it in their overall media planning? So the objectives that social media achieves best, and this is what data represents, is it helps increase brand or product awareness, which is on top of the charts. That is one thing that it does best. It increases your awareness, primarily because there are so many people online. We talked about just Facebook has over 1 billion people online. But there are a host of other things that social media marketing can achieve. For example, improve your brand or product reputation, increase your website traffic, give you an option to give customer support, quality customer support, real-time customer support. It seems my voice is not audible to everyone. Can I get a go ahead if it is now? Is it audible now? To everyone? Alright, seems audible. To few people, it is. I'm getting messages that few can't hear me, few can. So the ones who can't hear me, can you just check your audio settings? Maybe you might have muted me. Alright, so for the people who can hear me out, I'll continue. So we were talking about what are the objectives that social media achieves best. So it definitely helps in product awareness, product reputation. It increases website traffic, helps me generate leads as well, reduces customer acquisition costs, so multiple things it can do. But look at the thing in the bottom of this chart where the perception that social media marketing helps in increasing sales revenue is not that high. So which comes to the question whether social media marketing is effective or not. So if we talk about few numbers here, so let's see, 74% of CMOs, Chief Marketing Officers of any brand, they want to tie social media efforts to very hard return on investment targets these days. And so even knowing that increased sales revenue is not something expected out of social media marketing, but still they want to use social media marketing as a resource to have higher ROIs. 96% started to look beyond sales goals and web metrics to identify the value of social media, social marketing efforts. And this is primarily coming from this precise that people in the marketing field have understood that even if we are not getting direct sales revenue from it, there are a host of other things that can help us. Maybe we are not attributing it right to these networks. So people have understood that it is very important for a brand to be present online. But let's again see few numbers why there is a need to go social. So why it is required for any brand, be it small or big, to go social? What is the value? So here are a few reasons that we'll go through so that social can be a part of media planning for any brand. So if we talk about 78% of small businesses now get at least 1/4 of new customers via social media, which is a very huge thing for a small business. It is a very huge thing, but even big brands can't ignore that. 61% of young people refer to social media to decide where they need to go when they are going out. So that is a very important metric. If you focus on it, 61% people go to their Facebook pages or any social network to decide where they want to go, depending on if my friend has been to a particular restaurant last week and he liked it, that might become my choice today as well. So there's a lot of influence that social media networking can do. to help me talk to these guys, talk to more customers and get them to like my brand or engage with my brand. So, alright, Ansh has a question. What does 1/4 of customers refer to? So that's like 25% of the new customers that I'm getting are from social media. Right? Is that clear? That's what 1/4 refers to. Alright. So these are the new customers that I get through social media. What about customer engagement? Now, because it is a platform and we are calling it a social platform, obviously there will be a lot of engagement between the users and the brands. So think of it, 27% of Americans check their social networks several times a day. And if I have to put a figure to it, it's just for Facebook alone, I check it around 14 times a day through my mobile phone. Mobile phone only, like on the desktop logins, desktop views are separate. Just on my mobile, in a day, I check it 14 times a day. 35% of Americans check brand pages regularly as part of their social media. And why is that? Because brands are creating content that people would like. So the engagement level is quite high. 35% people engage. And all in all, if I'm spending, let's say, 5 hours or 2 hours in a day on online, out of that, 27% or 27 minutes is spent online on social media. So these are huge numbers that matter to brands, that what people are doing on these networks. And when the sheer number of these people is so high, for example, Twitter has 200 million active users. So what it can do, if someone tweets anything about my brand, be it good or bad, it reaches to 200 million people directly in an instant. So the reach is immense. When it comes to Facebook, it's 5 times higher. It's more than 1 billion people who I can just connect directly. Similarly, Google Plus is it's growing right now. They have around 343 million active users. I'm sorry, I'll take a pause again. I think my voice is not audible to Nazir. Nazir, do you want to log in and log out again? Probably. Alright, it seems few people are getting an issue with the voice, but I'll in the interest of time and for the benefit of everyone, I'll continue. We'll have the recording of this webinar as well sent to you. So, alright, we were talking about the reach. So, Twitter has 200 million people who I can reach in an instant. Facebook, which we are covering today, has more than 1 billion people. Google Plus, which I said is rising. More people are coming online through Google Plus as well. But what are these people doing? What are these more than 1 billion people doing online? So the few social habits that we need to know. And we are covering this so that we understand what are these networks for, what people do online, and why it should be important for a brand. So when it comes to social networks, people research about products. When I say research about products, if I have to buy a new phone, I might go online, go to my social networks, check what are the reviews that someone has posted about a phone, and that will help me make an opinion about a phone. So that's what people do. They research products online. They share information. If I like something, I'll share with my friends or friend circle. If I don't like something, even then I'll share. So a lot of sharing happens, even with text messages, photos, videos. A lot of things get shared online. And finally, people do connect with brands. So this is one network that gives me a chance to directly talk to a brand. If, let's say, I bought a Samsung phone, I found it faulty. So there is a way I can go to the customer center, file a complaint, or I can post online, tagging Samsung as one of the brands and make them hear me out. So that's what people do. They are connecting with brands, whether they like something about them. They tell those brands that I like whatever you are providing, and if they don't like something, they have the option of that. So that's why it has pros and cons both for brands, but that's an opportunity as well. So these are all the reasons why any brand should consider why they need to go online. So let's see what more we need to do about the thing that we need to know today is Facebook. So the things that people are doing online, what platforms they are selecting. Let's see what's the most preferred platform. So no doubt about it, Facebook seems to be preferred option of most of the brands to come online on social media platforms. Around 94% of the brands use Facebook as their first choice. Twitter comes next because 84% is not a small number. And so is YouTube, LinkedIn. These are all platforms, but the most preferred one is Facebook. So that's why we're learning about Facebook today. And we'll start directly now with Facebook. So we have had an introduction about what social media networks are, what people are doing on these platforms, and now we'll learn about Facebook. But before we get into the details, let's just talk about some interesting things about Facebook. So how many of you know who this guy is? On this, I need at least like everyone to answer, I'm hoping. Okay. One person, I won't say this is right or wrong, but let's see if other people can answer. Yes, so I'll not waste much time on it. So I believe like everyone knows that this is Mark Zuckerberg who invented Facebook. And like you can see, he's a 32-year-old guy who invented Facebook around almost a decade back. And today we are learning about his company, what it does and how it helps back. So he has done an immense thing, has given a great opportunity to people to connect online, and that's their mission was, to make the world more open and connected. So they have done a fabulous job in achieving that mission, and they still have a lot more to go. Let's come to the second interesting fact. What do you think this guy draws salary as a CEO of Facebook? Like, give me a number. Take any wild guess if you want. Anyone? I'll give you that. 10 crore. That seems to be a good number, but it's not that. It's $1. This guy just draws $1 as his salary after being CEO of the company. Like, there'll be questions, where does he get money from? There are other ways he earns and he gets money, but as CEO, he just draws $1 as salary. What do you think, how many times a smartphone user check FB on his smartphone? I already gave that answer a while ago. If you were listening attentively, you might know. How many times a smartphone user checks Facebook? 14. Brilliant. So yes, 14 times someone checks Facebook on a smartphone, which is a huge number. 14 times in a day. I'm going online and connecting with brands, connecting with my friends, making opinions, sharing things. Another interesting fact. What do you think? Like, if you die, what happens to your profile? And it seems, why I'm asking this question, because profiles, my personal profile on Facebook is really valuable to me. And people want to make sure that even if they die, their profiles are still intact. What do you think happens to their profiles if they die? By the way, there are around 30 million dead people on Facebook. So I'll tell you like what happens. Facebook has an option that if you die, you can give access or you can nominate someone to take care of your profile. So for example, if some celebrity like unfortunately dies someday, they can appoint someone to take care to make sure their brand is out there talking to people, connecting to fans even after their death. So that's how important a Facebook profile is for someone, that they want people to make sure that they're alive online and somebody is there to take care of it. Another interesting thing, like not so relevant, but a third of all divorce filings in 2011 in the US contained the word Facebook. And that should give you an insight how much time people spend online, how much time people are spending on these platforms. Not a really good thing, I would say, but it's a very important metric for a brand to focus on. Let's spend another couple of minutes to look at the journey that Facebook has been through in the last decade. We'll see. So in 2004, it started in the month of February in Harvard College, where Mark Zuckerberg, along with his colleague, along with his fellow batchmates, started this. And you won't believe, by December that same year, they had more than 1 million users. They had moved to a headquarters in Palo Alto, and they were already having 1 million people on their platform. Now, if you look at the revenue that they had in 2004, it's just a small figure of $382,000. And we fast forward it to, let's say, even if you look at year by year, they have done immense growth in the number of people that have come on their platform and their revenues, of course. So they have now more than 1.23 billion people online and earning a revenue of more than 7.8 billion. So how Facebook is earning so much of money? Obviously, advertising. And once we know few of the basic concepts of how Facebook is helping brands to connect with their audience, to engage with their audience, to help them create awareness about their brands. If we just learn few of the basic concepts that Facebook has, it will be like you won't believe how simple it is that Facebook has made for brands to come online. So let's dive into Facebook advertising, our topic for today. So before I tell you about Facebook advertising, you need to find out what are the things that people can advertise. So if you want, you can advertise a page. So I'm sure people who have a Facebook profile, they might have sometime created a Facebook page for themselves of any event that they were doing or any small business that they had. So you can advertise a page. You can obviously advertise a website. You can advertise an app or even a post that you made. So based on those things, based on your objectives, Facebook gives you an option to advertise. The first thing that you need to do is, firstly, obviously you need to know what you need to advertise. After that, you need to select an objective. See, the objectives are very clear. If I want clicks to my website, that's a very clear objective someone can have. I want more people to come onto my website. Do I want website conversions? I want people to come on my website and transact, make a purchase, or download something. Do I want my page, the posts that I'm doing on my page, do I want people to engage, to like those things, to share my page, share my event details? I can even take objective of, if I created a new app, I can create a campaign for app installs. So the first thing is that I select an objective, what I want to do, and on the right hand side you see the structure that goes into a Facebook account. So you create a campaign which will have few settings in there, and you create different ad sets under which you finally create your ad, which is the creative that you see online. So we'll go through like how these creatives look when we are browsing through our pages, browsing through our profiles. So these are the basic ad types you must have seen or noticed on your profile that brands are posting on. So for example, look at the top ad which is there. It's a desktop. When you're browsing your profile on a desktop, this is the photo page post. So which means I want people to like it, to share it. It's a photo. All right, seems working for Nazir now. I hope it's working for everyone else as well. So these are the ad types that are there on a Facebook page. We have a top ad where people can share or like the page. Below that we have a link page post, wherein if you are posting an ad there, people can click on it and come to your website. On the right hand side, if you see the interfaces of a mobile device, where you can have a mobile app install ad or a domain ad where people can click and come to your website. Link page, like similar ads, but on a mobile device. The only thing missing on a mobile interface is the ads on the right hand side of your profile. Most of the ads that you will have will be in your feed. And one thing to notice or to identify whether these are ads or not is a small link below the ads or which says these are sponsored. So whenever you see an ad or any post which is sponsored, you should know that these are the brands who have targeted you as an audience and they are showing their offering to you. So now we come to the most important part. So we have till now we have just covered that what you can do with Facebook advertising. What are the objectives you can achieve? This is how your ad would look to someone. But how would you decide who you want to show your ads to? So this is the crux of any platform or for any marketing. Sorry, I'll take a minute. Ansh has a question, and he's asking the ads on the right-hand side run only on mobile devices. So I'll show you the ads again. On the right-hand side, the 3 ads that you see are, yes, they run only on the mobile devices. The sizes are different because the screen is smaller. And we don't have the ads that you see on a profile, these small 720 pixel into 100 pixel ads. They run, these are the right-hand side ads that run on your profile. But all the other ads, you can see the interface. Those are for mobile, and the center of the page is for desktops. Is that clear? Alright, perfect. Now we'll come to the targeting. So this is, like I was saying, this is the most important part for any marketing objective that I have. I need to know who I want to target, who are my right audiences. So for traditional marketing methods, you have to do a lot of stuff to get to the right audience. You need to select if I talk about television advertising, you need to select the right kind of slot in a top TV serial or in a cricket match to let's say anticipate that my targeted audience would come there and see my ad. But on digital marketing or on digital feed, these list of audiences are served to you as different things. So if you want, now we'll go through these targeting options that businesses can use. And on Facebook, we can see, like on the screen, you can see there are around 8 options that are there. We'll go through them one by one. So make sure you understand these targeting options very correctly, because once we know the principles or the basics about these targeting options, rest everything is very easy. The difficult part is only to identify my target audience. So let's talk about custom audiences first. So as the name suggests, it's a customized audience list. So I know there are a lot of users I have data around them. Now I want to target a few of them. So on Facebook, it's possible that if I have a list of email addresses, if I have a list of Facebook profile IDs, depending on how people have come to my website, if I have a list of phone numbers with me, I can target those people. So what I can do, even if I have this target list of people in an Excel sheet, I can upload it in my account, and Facebook will match it to their database that whether users with these details exist or not, and it will create an audience for me. So this is a very great tool that Facebook offers, where I can target people I want to the specifics of even a phone number. And where do we get that data? Where do Facebook get that data from? Is by users. Users provide that data while creating their profile. They have their email addresses entered into Facebook feed. They have their phone numbers sometimes entered. They enter a lot of data about themselves. So it's easier for brands to know who they are targeting to. So custom audience, just on a brief idea, if you have to remember, it gives me an option to customize my list of target audience depending on the data I have. I can use third-party data as well. I can use data from my website as well. So a host of things that I can do with custom audiences. So this is the most powerful targeting technique that Facebook offers. The next thing we have, we'll go through is interests. Also, people stop me whenever, like if you need more details around it, ask me questions, because maybe your question can help me answer the other targeting options easily as well. So we have covered custom audiences. Have your questions typed in if you have. Now we'll cover interests. So by the name, again, by the name of the targeting method. It's the interest that people have. So, and how do I show that on a Facebook page? I like certain brands. I like certain posts. I play on certain apps. I, let's say, visit certain places. So there are a lot of things that I do when I'm online. I'm liking so many things. I'm sharing my interests. And so what I'm doing, I'm showing what I'm interested in as a person. So if, let's say, a brand needs to target, a brand wants to launch a soft drink, for example, and they want to target people who are interested in soft drinks. So all they have to do is find out an audience who likes Coke or Pepsi and target them. So that's how I can target people based on interest. Next comes behavior, which is slightly different from interest, but it depends on what I generally do as a person. If I travel a lot, then travel, and on Facebook you have an option that you keep tagging wherever you went. So if I travel a lot, my behavior is that I'm a traveler. If I dine out a lot, my preferences are, my behavior is that I like eating out. In this, the important part to notice in behavior targeting on Facebook specifically is that it just doesn't take into account the online things that I do. It has an option to integrate the offline activities that I do as well. A lot of businesses have access to first-hand access to things that I do offline. For example, if I purchased a car, I purchased an automobile, which I did offline, but somewhere that data is being recorded, some company is recording that data, right? That's how we know how many cars were sold in a particular quarter. So somewhere that data is being recorded, and if a particular brand wants to use that offline data, they can use. Facebook has some trusted third parties who can help you integrate that data into your targeting methods. So based on behavior that they show online or offline. The next very basic thing is location. If I'm a local business, location of someone is very important. I don't want to target someone who is 200 kilometers away from my store and my ads are showing to him. So that would be a waste for me, waste for the user as well. So on Facebook, you have very interesting location targeting options. You can target people if they are present in a location. If so, that is how Facebook captures that data is by the information in your account, where I say where my current city is. So based on your current city, you can be shown ads by brands. Based on if I travel to some place. So preference of location preference, based on that I can target. So there are multiple options in location targeting, and depending on my business objective, I can select from those 4 or 5 location options that I have. So that is, like, location targeting will always be there as one part of your targeting, because you need to restrict your area of advertisement to a particular location. So I'm sure like that would be pretty clear to everyone. But the next important part is connections. So this is primarily an advantage, or you can say a unique feature that Facebook offers of targeting people through connections. And why is it important for brands? So for example, I am a restaurant and I've created my page. I did some advertisement and there are 100 people who like my page now. So now I have these 100 people who like my page, who have visited my store. But what is important is that these 100 people might have 100 friends each, which gives me a huge audience of people who I can target. So what I can do, I can target through connections, which is friends of friends. For example, if somebody have liked my page, I want to target his friends. So people who have liked my page, that's a connection they have made with me. If I want to use that connection and target to other people who are related, I can do that. So that's where the advantage comes in. I can, and why I say it is important, because if today I see that one of my friends liked a restaurant and I'm looking online to go to a particular restaurant. So, and if I see an ad there that my friend ABC went to this restaurant and left a great review about it, most likely I'll also visit that place because I'm online looking for a place to go and my friend preferred a place which now I'll go. So that's a very important data, very important connection that brands can use to target people. The next thing is demographics. So these are age, gender, and all of those things, which again depends on what my business is, what my objective is. I need to target only males or only females, or if I want to show my ads only to people who are above 30 years of age. So there are multiple things that I can do with demographics as well. Any questions still now? I know like we've been discussing too much details about it. It can be a high overdose of information, but let me know in case you have any question or need more clarity on any of the targeting methods. So I'll continue in the meanwhile. So education is the next, and you would wonder where that information would come in. So if you remember when you created your profile, you enter your education level as well. People enter their education level separately on offline methods as well, but that's where I can use that information to target people. So, which is a very important criteria for which can prove to be. For example, if I'm running a course which is important only for people who are graduates, then I can segregate those people out of 100 million people I have. The graduates would be just 10 million, for example. So I don't need to show my ads to 100 million people. Those 10 million people are segregated, and I can show my ads to them. The last option is partner categories. So this is again an interesting targeting method that Facebook provides, wherein I can use offline data. I can partner with different companies, and like I said, Facebook has trusted partners who can provide you very valuable data around user behaviors. So I can partner with people, partner with different data collection companies, and use that data to target my audience. So Facebook gives you that option to. They already have some people on board who can give you that data, but you can use yours as well. So these are all the targeting methods that we've covered. So we've now we know that we have an objective to achieve. We have the ad formats that I can create, and these are the people who I need to reach to. And from there, I can pick one, or I can pick a combination of targeting methods to show my ads to people. So once I'm clear with these things, another important decision that I have to make is to how much I need to spend and how will I be charged. Okay, we have one question on targeting. So the question is, can we use a combination of these targeting? For example, targeting my friends who are below age 30 or graduates and planning to go to a trip. So the answer is yes, you can use combination of these, but if the question is that it will be a subset of all these three things, then no. So it will be an OR function, wherein you will be targeting people who are your friends, you will be targeting people who are below the age of 30 and graduates who are planning a trip. So you can target all these three people in one campaign, but not a subset of these things. So, and why this is because most of the time the reach might become really narrow. So out of my friends, 100 friends, 20 would be below 30. Out of these 20, 90 would be graduates. Out of those 19 graduates, maybe 2 would be planning a trip. So I understand this would be a very targeted approach, but as a targeting option, it's a OR function, not an AND function that selects your targeting options. So we'll come to the, I hope I cleared your question. Feel free to ask again if there is any doubt. So on the budget and bids part, Facebook provides you option to set a daily budget, which means I want to spend $100 daily on these ads, or you can have a lifetime budget. So for example, I'm running a campaign for Diwali, and I have from my marketing team received $10,000 as a budget. So I can, for that campaign, I can assign a lifetime budget that I want to spend $10,000 in this time period. Feel free to spend it accordingly. So Facebook does automation, spends your budget accordingly, so that during those 2 months when you want to advertise, it is using that budget completely. So that is the flexibility you have by selecting a budget. either selected daily or as a lifetime. So budget decides how much you will spend. The bits option tells you how much you will spend per click or per engagement or per impression, per 1,000 impression. So this is also very important because if that makes you competitive. So if there are 3 businesses who are running a restaurant, everyone wants to get to that audience who wants to come and have dinner tonight. And these 3 businesses would be putting up their bids on the targeting method. And these bids decide whose ads are more competitive and will get preference. So CPC is a cost per click method where I decide if I'm targeting a user who's interested in food and beverage, I'm ready to pay, let's say, $2 for a click. The other option is cost per 1,000 impressions. So we define it as CPM. So M stands for Roman number 1,000. So CPM is I pay for every 1,000 impressions that Facebook gives me. So these are 2 options that you can select for bidding, and budget we discussed. So now the only part left is that is to try and doing it, to see how easy it is to create an ad with Facebook as a platform to achieve those business objectives. So let's do a quick demo on how we can create a Facebook ad. So I believe even if you don't have a website, a lot of you might have created a page for yourself or a brand that we talked about initially. So let's do a live demo. I'll go to a demo page that we have for Facebook that we created just for this session. So, okay, can you guys see this Facebook page? All right, perfect. So, so this seems familiar, right? This is your Facebook page. In between, you have feeds coming in. On the right-hand side, you might see certain notifications, some trending things. On left-hand side of your page, you see your favorites, the apps that you use, the pages that you have created, or the groups that you can create. So now focus on the part which is the 3rd section, pages. So you have an option to create a page. So when I select this option, so we won't go ahead and create a page as of now. I already have a page which is created. But creating a page just means filling up information about your business. So if you are a restaurant owner, you fill. So let's just see maybe how do you create a page. So these are the options that you get for creating a page. Are you a local business? Are you a company? Are you a brand or product? Are you running a page for a cause? For example, if you're running a blood donation drive, you can create a cause. Or if you are a sole artist or a public figure, you can create pages based on these themes. So once you select these, like any of the option, you'll be asked to fill details about your brand or about your business. So if we've created this page already, now what happens? Now you want to advertise this page. So you see this option which says create an ad. Now I clicked on it and it took me to a page which directly asks me what is the objective of this campaign. Now what I want to do, because this is the page, although I can select any option depending whether I have an app or something, but as of now this is a page and I want to promote it. So this is a new brand probably I launched and I want to promote this page. The page name that I gave was Eats as a page, and I want, so it has selected, because right now this profile has just one page, it auto-populated it, but if I had multiple pages, you can select which page you want to promote. So now my objective is set, I want to promote my page, let's click on continue. So now I'm promoting the page, it says you will get more page likes, that's the objective, right? Now let's see what it wants. It wants me to fill in the account country, which is India, the currency that I want to use, my time zone. So very basic things about myself. And look at the next thing. It clearly asks me, who do you want your ads to reach to? Target ads to people who know your business. So this is where I can select my audiences. Now I'm directly coming to the targeting part. So if you see this link over here, it says you can create custom audience. This is the first targeting option we talked about, right? And these custom audience can be your contacts, can be your website visitors or app users. You can also upload email addresses to select this option, right? Or if you want to, let's say, create, so this is where you create new audience. Right now I don't have any custom audience created. That's why it's giving me an option to create new audience. So if I'm not selecting any custom audience, I go to the general location. I want, it has picked up Gurgaon, and I want to target people who are 50 miles around Gurgaon. Although it's a very broad targeting area for a restaurant, but let's say maybe let me reduce it to just 10 miles. So I want to target people who are around Gurgaon, 10 miles around Gurgaon. Now look at on the right hand side, it gives me the reach. It's telling me potential reach of these number of people. Age bracket of 18 to 65 in this location that you have. So it gives me a very fair idea who will be the audience in my targeted area. Language, I can enter language, so enter English here. I'm going to select all English languages here. Are you guys following, right? These are very basic information that we just talked about. And the other targeting options have come now. If I want to use interest as my option, behaviors or connections. So let's look at interests. So these, you see, I just clicked on it, and it is giving me some suggestions on its own. So now if I want to, let's say, find people who are interested in have I spelled Chinese correctly? Chinese language, or say continental. Let me select continental food. Or maybe let's just pick up here cupcakes. If my restaurant provides cupcakes, I've selected cupcake. It's giving me further options of organic food, cheesecakes, donut, cake, all the options under my restaurant category that I need to target to. So I can select these. All you have to do is just click on this plus button, and under food and drink, it has targeted organic food as one of my categories. Interest, and I want to show my ads to. The next thing is behavior of people. So behavior we talked about, right? What people generally do. Do they travel? Is the person I want to target is a mobile device user? Do I want to target any particular seasonal event or something? So if you expand it, it will give you whether cricket, like that's a really interesting option. If I want to show my ads to people who want to watch an IPL match, maybe in a restaurant, on a big screen, I can target cricket 2015. So all the people everyone who is browsing things about 2000 cricket on their Facebook profiles, they would come under my target audience. So similarly, I have options to select based on graduation, whether people are graduated or parents of graduates. I can target to that level as well. And similarly, it's giving me reach again on the right hand side, how many people are there under this category. So till now, what I have done, I have selected my page that I have to target, and I have selected my audience. How do I want to target them? I want to target them based on interests and behavior. Now look at the next thing that we talked about. We talked about our daily budget, and we talked about bids. So it gives me an option to select a daily budget or a lifetime budget. Now I don't have a, let's say, particular period that I want to advertise for. So that's why I will go for a daily budget. So I can select any amount that I want here. So by default, let's say it's showing me 500 rupees per day. I can change it to any amount that I want. And it is giving me an option to schedule the ads. Do I want to start today, or maybe start from Monday onwards? So all those options, very simple options, it's giving me to, and I'm making decisions for my ads right now. So the next thing that you can see, what I've clicked on advanced options. So it's asking me, what do I want to do? I want to optimize for page likes, or clicks, right? These two things are there for the promotion that I've selected. So right now I want people to like my page, and probably once I have good number of people who like my page, then I can use those connections to target more people. So I'm building my audience. So right now I want people to like my page, not clicks, because I don't have a website as of now. I just want people to come to my page, like it, and so that in future I can use their friends to target my ads to. Right? And the pricing I've selected, get the most likes at the best price. So if I have to say it clearly, it's the automatic option where the system will decide that according to the budget and which I'm selecting, it will get me maximum likes under that. Or I set an amount that I would like to pay 1 rupee for someone who likes my page. So look at the, can you guys see the suggestion below, right? I selected 1 rupee at my bid, but depending on the audience I've selected, depending on the page I want to target, I want to advertise, it's giving me a bid that try with almost 17 rupees 97 for a better chance of reaching to your target audience. So that's intuitive, like that's how much intuitive Facebook is, because we know the recent behavior of people who like, let's say, restaurant pages. Usually advertisers have spent around 18 rupees a like for getting those audiences. So let's give the system and I'll try an 18 rupee bid. So it's now letting me proceed. So I've selected my bids here. So the things that we talked about, do you want to pay per 1,000 impressions or you want to pay per click, right? So that's where I've decided I want to let people like my page, and every like is worth 18 rupees to myself. Now, because I'm a restaurant owner, I want to run my ads maybe for a particular time, till the time I'm open. Although I can get likes anytime I want, anytime people are online. But let's say if I just wanted people to see my ad during a particular time of the day. So I open at 10 o'clock in the morning, and from let's say 10 to 5 o'clock I want to run my ads. So it's giving me two options: run ads all the time, or run ads on a particular schedule. So my scheduling works when I select my budget to be, just go up, my budget to be lifetime budget. It will give me an option to run on a particular schedule, and otherwise my ads would run all the time. So right now we have selected the settings of the campaign, and we've done some advanced settings as well. So if you remember the structure that we talked about initially, we have campaign at the top. Below that we have ad sets, and below ad set we have our ads finally. So ad set name, it's picking up Gurgaon 18 plus, and now I come to the creative part. How do I want to show my ad? Do I want to show a video that I want to upload, or just images? So if I select images, it is picking up an image that I can select from my restaurant. And if I want to write something on it, I can say get delicious food at best prices, or maybe come visit us and get 20% discount. Anything that I want to show my ad with a text. This is where I enter it. And if you want to have a preview, how it would look, that's how it looks on a desktop. That's how your ad would look. And if you want to check how this looks on a mobile device, just go down. This is how your ad would look on a mobile device. And if the ad appears on the right hand side when somebody is checking their page on a desktop, this is how your right hand side ads would look. Now, in these 4 steps that we've done in less than 7 minutes, we have created a campaign and it's all set to promote this page. All I have to do is just place an order, wherein it will ask me for my billing details and ask me to enter money or run it on automatic payments. But my campaign creation is done on Facebook. That's all it requires. That's all, like 10 minutes you require to create a Facebook. Even if you are creating a Facebook page from scratch, it will take you 2-3 minutes to create a Facebook page. And then, in 7 minutes that we just did, in creating an ad and start running it immediately. So tell me, like, was it too difficult to, let's say, go through it? Once we understand what are our targeting options, which we did here, all the interest-based behavior connections, if that part is clear to us, who do we want to target? Rest everything is very easy. So this is where we will, let's say, conclude the webinar that we have done the demo part of it, and we will go through. We'll go through questions if you guys have. So we have. You can scroll through the slides that I took you guys through. Ask me any questions from the slides that we've covered or from the demo that we just did. Tell me if I was too fast. I can cover these things again. We'll wait for a couple of minutes for any questions, and then we'll record this webinar and probably send to you guys. So let me know if you guys have any questions about any of the targeting methods or about the budgets, bids, about the creatives that you can have. And we have text ads. So text ads, obviously you can have text ads, but with that you have an advantage of using the logo of your brand, the image that you want to show with that. So it's not just plain text ads you can obviously have, but you can have a text written with the image of your brand as well. You can have videos as well. So yes, the answer to the question is yes, you can have as in without any image. You'll have to select a logo. You'll have to select an image with your text. And why I'm saying this is because it makes your ad more attractive if you have an image on a Facebook page. It's not a Google search where we're running ads and people are looking for intent-based information. It's a display where people are coming and browsing content, and that's why showing your images helps to get that attention. Any other questions people have? All right, guys. It seems we don't have any questions as of now, but feel free to let us know in case you have more questions around it. We will be sending you out a recording of this webinar, and hope to see you guys again in our next session. Thank you very much for attending today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot for joining in. We are sending a feedback form to you. It's an online feedback form. You guys click into this link and provide feedback on today's session. That's going to be extremely helpful. We would like to understand your perspective, and if there are anything which we need to work upon, which we need to improve, we'll be more than happy.